Okay, we got it. Hi, my name is Lavita Davenport, and I am the CEO and founder of Labor Day, the intentional community of people who are wanting to live abundant lives every day by choosing to be their hero in their health, education, relationships, and ownership. I want to welcome you back to our Own It series. And I also want to begin with a bit of honesty. When I started this series earlier this year with the focus of 2026 being the year of ownership, I had some momentum, y'all. And then I decided to take a pause. And that pause was a little longer than I intended for it to be. But now I'm picking it back up. And in a way, it's exactly what lesson 4 is about. Ownership is not about never pausing. It's not about never falling behind. Ownership is not about never needing to reset. Ownership is about telling the truth of where you are, what you want, what you've been choosing, and what is the next aligned step that you can take to help you get there. So, we're continuing this series not from a place of any shame and not from a place of any blame either, but from a place of intention. Because ownership is taking responsibility for your choices, for your lifestyle, for your community, and for your future. And that brings us right on into week 4, where we're talking about small decisions and big outcomes. Most people think that big outcomes come from big moments. They think it comes from these big choices. But more often, life changes through small decisions that are made consistently over time. Those are things like what you say yes to, what you delay, what you ignore, what you practice. Those choices make you feel maybe, no, not make you. Those choices may feel small from moment to moment, but over time they compound. They get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they begin to shape your habits and your confidence, your relationships, and eventually your opportunities. Ownership works that exact same way. The life that you build tomorrow is being shaped by the decisions that you make today. How you manage your time, your money, your energy, and your commitments are going to really determine the future and the life that you have. I can say this personally that I didn't take full ownership of my pause. I made a series of choices, small choices, that kept me from getting back in front of this camera. Those choices were not intentional, they were a pattern. And that pattern affected my momentum, it affected my relationship with my audience, and it affected the opportunities that are connected to this work. Again, no regrets, just some accountability. And that next step after accountability is responsibility. For me, that looked like getting on up, getting dressed, and pressing the record. And sometimes ownership starts just that simply by taking charge of this moment. Sometimes that means pausing, it means breathing, It means regulating, choosing not to spiral, choosing to return to yourself. And so here's a practical way to do that. I want to go ahead and help you take this moment. I'm going to sit back, put my feet on the floor, close my eyes, and I'm going to do some breathing. I invite you to do the same. The breathing I'm going to do is going to be inhaling for 4 seconds, letting that breath go all the way down to my abdomen, holding it for 4 seconds, and then blowing it out really big for another 4 seconds. Then I'm going to pause for 4 seconds and do it again. This is called box breathing. And we'll talk about why it's helpful in just a moment. But let me see if you observe any experiences as you do it too. Here we go. Breathing in. Hold. Breathing out. Hold. Breathing in. Hold. Breathing out. Hold. Now, you could pause it and take a couple more breaths, but I just want to check in real quick. What just happened there? Well, taking that moment signaled safety to your body. What you did was you interrupted the rush. You created enough space for yourself to respond to your next moment, to decide what it is that you want to do. Many of us go our whole lives just reacting to what's next, reacting to the things that happen to us without taking the moment and the time to respond. I want to invite you to a different way. And also, I want you to remember that small steps just like that become big outcomes for your future. A big outcome for me earlier when I took that breath was getting up and recording this video right now. And I'm going to post it too. So this week, I want you to look at your own life. Take these steps with you. Take a pause, take a breath, an intentional pause, and then make a decision of what it is that you want next. If you can, I want you to think about areas of your own life, your relationships, a career, a goal, a hope that you have. And I want you to ask yourself just 2 questions about that. Is this where I want to be? And what is the next step that could move me forward in the direction that I want to be going? Again, that step does not have to be dramatic. It does not have to be major. It just has to be honest. And so know that your future is not only decided by those big moments, by big choices. Your future is being negotiated and created by all those small ones too. If you want to learn more practical tips about how to empower your life, how to be your hero. I invite you to check out our website, www.levaday.org. And I want you to also remember that ownership is not about perfection, y'all. Ownership is about participation. One honest, supported step at a time. So know that I love you. Know that I am rooting for your abundant life and your success. And I want you to be encouraged. I will see y'all next time. Bye.